I feel I should give back to my community. I was involved in agriculture throughout my whole life, in the cocoa business, manufacturing chocolate. So that inspired me. My parents had land, and I think plant cocoa. You know, Monlock plant cocoa, and that itself can lead us far.
So back in 2018, during one of our outreach activities, we came across community members from Saltibus who had a vision for creating employment, creating livelihood options in the community. From that conversation, we developed a group, the Bosola Sustainable Agriculture Business Group, the BSA. We've been using that since then as a mechanism for getting in investment and financing to support the type of initiatives that the community members want for creating sustainable livelihoods. So the idea behind bioeconomy is to look at what are the natural resources available, how human beings can use those natural resources in a sustainable way to create livelihood options while creating new opportunities going forward. So what we did in our case, we started firstly at cocoa and worked our way backwards. We looked at the production of cocoa, and one of the core issues that a number of cocoa farmers have is access to inputs like fertilizer. So we sought out to develop fertilizers and amendments that could help to enrich the soil and make the cocoa plants more productive. It's a regenerative model. In addition to that, we introduced mushrooms as a commodity that is well adapted and well suitable to the natural environment that we typically find on a cocoa farm. We tested and pioneered some simple methods for growing mushrooms in a smallholder setting, which also contributed to another project that ICA implemented, the Where Women Bloom project. But the lessons that we learned from this rural bioeconomy project are what allowed that other project to be successful. We then developed fish hydrolysis as a commodity using fish waste from the landing site in Viewfort. We produced that. That's a really good, high quality, slow release nitrogenous fertilizer. And then we incorporated that with the beneficial fungi to produce an aerated compost tea. So in the process of developing this, we had already developed at least 4 other sources of income that could be operated on a cocoa farm. Very low scale, very low cost input. The last productive component that we introduced and we tested was introducing apiculture on the cocoa farm. So typically, cocoa farmers in the Caribbean would find a lot of other beneficial species. You'd find fruit trees and other species that produce nectar and forage material for the bees. So we're also going to incorporate that and evaluate the productivity of the bees in that setting, which also works well with having an organic production system, so that we don't introduce any potentially harmful agrochemicals that might compromise the bees' health, while also denaturing and affecting beneficial organisms in the soil and in the environment for pollination of cocoa. This is the principle behind the aerated static pile compost. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 by 8 bins that can take a sizable quantity of material. The project had a target of being able to produce at least 900 pounds. So this will give us the capacity to exceed that target in terms of volume of compost that could be produced.
Members have engaged in several farming activities and trainings that has promoted sustainable agricultural practices in the community. The work that we do is very important because it provides members with new opportunities, skills, and knowledge. It minimizes the issues of unemployment whilst helping deal with climate change, and the issues of wastage of raw materials. Also, not forgetting the group will aid in contributing to the economic development of the country as a whole.
We build up the farm. Right now we have about almost 7 acres of cocoa. And right now we are creating different products with that same cocoa. Right now we are doing biofertilizer, which we want to stick to biodiversity. We are doing compost making. We are taking waste from the fish guts, things people don't regard as nothing, and we're creating a good product with it. The way forward, farmers can use that in their field. Working with Jeff is a token in our feather. Because going to these projects, you need finance. And Jeff, through ICA, Jeff ready to finance our project, and Jeff is already financing our project to bring us on the level playing field. And so far, I'm proud of what we received from Jeff small funds already. This pushes us right forward with the help of Mr. Brent Udil. I'm telling you, the way forward is naturalism, organic. You have to stick to biodiversity. Use what is around you. What we are using here, we have plenty biomass lying there. And we're using those biomass to create that compost. And we applied it. It's a cycle. We applied it back to your plant. Natural.